Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is the show where we pick a movie every week, just like a book club, and discuss it. On today's show, we are covering the sci-fi romance film, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2004, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was directed by Michel Gondry and stars Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, and Tom Wilkinson. When their relationship turns sour, a couple undergoes a medical procedure to have each other erased from their memories forever. It is currently ranked 95 on IMDb's Top 250 and currently has a 4.2 out of 5 on Letterboxd and is ranked 192 on its Top 250. It won one Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and it was nominated for another for Best Leading Actress for Kate Winslet. Before we dive into our thoughts and kind of review, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for this film. We will be talking about a major spoiler that happens in this movie that I didn't know happened with it. So if you don't want any, if you should go into this movie blind and not knowing anything. So to do that, we recommend you go watch the movie first. It's on Peacock. It might be on Criterion Channel as well right now. Still, but it is on Peacock for sure. That's where I watched it, and I believe Kevin watched it on Criterion. But if you so go watch it there first, and then come back. You're not going to offend us, but stay tuned till after the show so you know what we're covering next week, so you can watch it and not be spoiled. Alrighty, Kevin. So this week was my pick. We did this movie was my pick, as I just said. I picked this movie because I hadn't seen it before. And this is one of those movies that was kind of one of the ones that shows up on everyone's list of like the must-watch kind of movie that's, it was a wide release, but feels like an indie type film, which it very much does feel like an indie type film. But it was just kind of one of those ones that everyone always says to watch. And without kind of spoiling my true deep thoughts just yet, I completely see why.
I mean, it was just a surprise. For me, it was I didn't know I was gonna like it this much. I mean, I have heard of this movie before, but I didn't really know what it was about, which was okay with me. But going into it, open mind, didn't see anything, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, I didn't know what I was going to think about because I knew it had to do with a relationship, which for me, watching those kind of movies is always kind of rough. I'm a single guy. I don't like seeing people have what I don't have. Call me John. But this wasn't. I mean, it was about the relationship, but it was also about the breakup, and and it's not a healthy breakup. Obviously, a lot of romance movies will show breakup, and they're all pouty, and they're sitting there eating their ice cream on the couch or whatever. No, this movie really touches on some incredible moments of the depth of maybe the mental health issues associated with a breakup, which is not to be understated.
Exactly. And the not stipulations, but when she comes home from a day out of drinking and he goes, "So who did you have sex with?" And she goes, "How do you know I had sex with a person?" He goes, "No, I expect it now." And it's like, oh, that's horrible.
And the writers, Charlie Kaufman and the others do a very, very good job of, structuring those sequences. So you see those first, and then again, you later see all the positive. And I think that's what's really one of the strongest parts of the movie, for sure.
And I kind of liked how it started at the end of their relationship.
That's the big spoiler, by the way.
Oh yeah, big spoiler alert.
Yeah, it starts in the current time.
Yeah, and then it goes back in time, but then it's still this forward in time. It's you have to watch it to understand it.
Yeah, you're because this at its core, it's a movie about relationships. It is also a sci-fi movie. And while it doesn't deal with time travel, it deals with going into memories, and probably one of the best films I've seen, except for Skinamarink, that nails what I would call the dream state like
Mm.
what you see and what you feel when you're dreaming or when
Hmm.
you're recalling a memory.
Yeah.
Like there are points of this movie that feel kind of like a horror movie. Like,
Hmm.
whenever someone's face is blurry or
Oh,
they
that was
don't
so
have
cool.
one, it's such a cool effect, but it's something that's totally out of a nightmare and like or
Hmm.
like a bad memory, not remembering anyone around you because they're all just blank faces.
Hmm.
It's really haunting. And I think I'm definitely going to go back and watch this movie. I'm going to seek it out and buy it. If that doesn't spoil what I feel about this movie, I don't know what does. But like, there's so many things to catch
Oh yeah.
later on. There's a sequence where they're in the bookstore or the library. I can't remember which
Mm.
one it is, even though I
The
just watched
Barnes
the
and
film.
Nobles.
Yeah, exactly right. But the book covers all just start disappearing. Like the spines
Say
of the
I
books,
didn't
all the
even.
names just start
I didn't.
going
I
away.
didn't notice that.
Exactly. There's these little things you won't notice. And obviously, the film has also, besides those things you won't notice, it has the things that you will notice, which is the incredible cinematography. Like,
Hmm.
this feels unlike anything from 2004. It
No,
really
it doesn't.
feels it's like something ahead of its time,
Hmm.
which is really fascinating to me.
Do
But
you know about the one taker
the one
in this
taker
movie? There's a one take scene in this movie when he's walking up and down the street.
walking up and down the street.
Where he's walking up and down the street trying to look for her because she ran off in a dream sequence, and
Oh,
he
with the
keeps
car when it crashes down and everything?
yeah, that's a
Okay, yeah, yeah,
oneer.
yeah. That I didn't know that, and I didn't pick up on that, and that kind of hurts me that didn't occur to me while watching it.
Hmm.
But it was a wonder.
I learned it from the YouTube. I forget their names. Fuck. Who's the guy that does CG reacts and stuff like that?
Uh, you mean like Corridor Crew?
Yeah, Quarter. Thank you. They did
Oh,
it.
okay.
They do. They said it was a oneer, and I saw it, and it's very interesting how they did it as well. It's two different sides of the street, but everything is flipped.
Huh.
So it's very interesting. You should watch it after we do this, and they go into very good detail about how everything changes, but it still looks the same in a way.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to go and watch that. There's also quite a few essays because everyone kind of picks up on this differently,
Hmm.
um, and the meaning and what you can gather out of it. And I think like I'm curious to see what you got out of this, like what the meaning was, like to
Uh,
you.
Meaning was that yes, you can erase memories, but they're always going to stick with you, even though you don't have a memory of that person. So you still have, um, like you still have glimpses of, oh, this looks familiar, kind of thing, even though your memory is erased. And sometimes those memories can come back to you. That's what I
Hmm.
got from this.
Sure, I can see that.
Mhm.
I think for me, what really came across is, for lack of a better term, it's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it starts good and ends terribly, but like, think about all the good that happened
Hmm.
between the beginning and the end,
Yeah.
and that's what you should remember. And a lot of people also walk away with it like it's better to have loved and lost than it is to have never loved at all. That kind of
Hmm.
message, and you can really, I'm sure, if I was going through a particularly bad breakup, I'd have a different view of the message of this movie.
Hmm.
Um, which is so interesting because obviously you're in the middle of a successful relationship and you guys are, as far as I know, in a good place. So
Hmm.
like it's kind of curious to see like what your reaction to that is as opposed to someone who's single like me or someone who's been through a breakup. Like it'd be very interesting to see what different people in different situations
Well,
kind of walk away with.
think about like movies that we always say you can watch this at different parts of your life. This is a great movie to watch at different parts of your life
Hmm.
because, like you said, breakup when this happens, when you have a successful relationship, or when you're just alone. And but you've
Hmm.
gone through that your whole entire life, and this movie can put you into that situation where you are in right now or wherever it is, and you get something different out of it every single time.
Yeah, and that's what's so rewarding about it, right? Not beyond
Mm-hmm.
just the visual tricks and the things you didn't pick up on, and the story and knowing what happens,
Mm-hmm.
but like how you feel afterward, 100%. And I
Yeah.
think, for me, kind of walking out of it, I wasn't so much like, you know, reflecting on a past relationship or anything like that. I was kind of more like, damn, that's how you tell a good romance story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and kind of more marveling at the film aspect of it. But I think, like, again, like if I was in a relationship or had just gotten out of one, I'm sure I would have walked away with it with more of the emotional
Mm-hmm.
core of it, the meaning, as opposed to like the technical and that kind of approach to it.
Yeah, but I do like how well let's start talking about Jim Carrey. He is incredible in this movie. Like
Hmm.
I thought he was gonna pick some funny bones with me because he tries to be the funny one in the movie, but he was dead serious throughout this whole movie.
For
Kind
most of
well
it, yeah.
for most of it, but and he worked it so well too. Like I didn't even like think about Jim Carrey when I was watching this movie. I was just he was that actor and or that character, and he played it to a T.
Yeah, and obviously it's Jim Carrey, so he's going to have moments of levity here and there.
Hmm.
When he's playing the younger versions of himself in his memories,
Hmm.
like Jim Carrey as a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, whatever, is just hysterical to
Yeah.
me. But like, he is absolutely incredible in this. I think this is, from what I've seen, and I can't think of a better performance that I think he's given. And I think it must have been a stacked year at the Oscars that he wasn't nominated. It's
Yeah.
like, that's kind of a slap in the face. I feel like this is his best performance. And obviously, we all know that now. We're all
Hmm.
watching it now and going, "Hey, man, what the heck? He's so good." But like, for the time, like this, I don't know how many more serious films he'd done before this, or if this was kind of a departure for him at the time. I'd have to research that a little bit more. But
Hmm.
like, it must have been like a shock to see,
Oh
him
yeah.
that good. And so it's really, really refreshing. And also Kate Winslet's fantastic in this movie too. I mean, she's
Hmm.
just a great actress in general. There's very few films where I haven't enjoyed her in it.
Hmm.
But like, she was also very good here. And seeing a young Mark Ruffalo was
Oh,
really.
I didn't know who was in this movie except for Jim Carrey, and I'm like, is is that the Hulk? Is that baby Hulk in there?
You got
And
the Hulk in this movie. You got Mary Jane Watson in this
you
movie. You
got
got
Elijah Wood in this
Frodo
movie.
Baggins himself.
Frodo, man,
It's like,
what a clash of people you have.
and this is post Lord of the Rings Elijah, and
Hmm.
like pre-career, or well, Kirsten Dunst had a career. She was in Jumanji before this and a couple of other things, but like, that's one of her more serious early roles I can think of, at least off the top of my head. And
Hmm.
Mark Ruffalo, this is probably towards the beginning of his career too. Also,
Yeah.
David Cross is in this movie. That kind of funny guy we always see in a lot of different things.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of people in this movie, and Tom Wilkinson, who, rest in peace, Tom Wilkinson, was very good as the Doctor. And speaking of, there is one thing I want to talk about with this movie.
Okay.
Everyone in this movie is a terrible person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, we like, no one's perfect.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I'm not perfect. Kevin's not perfect.
Hmm.
There's all something we're gonna do that's gonna be fucked up to someone else, right? But like, they're all really messed up in this movie.
Well, see,
I mean,
I
Jim
don't
Carrey and Kate Winslet probably the least out of everyone,
that
but like,
that's because that's a relationship kind of thing. But
sure,
like the doctor's office, yeah, that's messed up.
yeah.
Like all the things that they do, and then they erase your memories while you're sleeping, and and then they party in your room and stuff like that. Yeah, that's very messed up. But it was cool to see in those dream scenarios that you could hear them while he was still dreaming.
Hmm.
And oh, I love that aspect of it. And he's trying to find the people in the house, and she's like, "What are you doing? There's no one here." So, oh, it was so good. That sequences were
And
so good.
the sequence when he wakes, or the not sequence, the part when he wakes up,
Mm-hmm.
his eyes open. It's total sleep paralysis. Like you wake up and can't do anything. There's all these things around you.
Mm-hmm.
Is nuts. And I think you really did hit the nail on the head. The dream sequences in this movie, like I said earlier, they nail it.
Yeah.
They're incredible. And whether it's the sequences of like running through the hallways and kind of people's faces disappearing, like running through that train station and just all the
Yeah.
people start blipping out of existence like Avengers
And
is crazy.
they could have done it in a different way, but they did it so satisfying in this way. Like it
Mhm.
would happen in your dreams. It's not
Yeah.
like they melted or anything. They just poof, they're gone. Poof, they're gone. Oh, this one showed up now. Or like when he's in the chair when they first meet him, he's in the chair, but then the doctor's taking his blood pressure and he sees two of himself in the same little room. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that could happen in a dream. You're looking at yourself getting something done. And it's like, oh, it was kind of creepy, but it was like, that's what would happen.
Yeah. It's they like again, I'm gonna keep saying it. They nail the dream atmosphere. The
Hmm.
randomness of things, the size difference of things, and
Hmm.
like the house, like literally, I feel like I've had this dream before, but like the house crumbling around Jim
Hmm.
Carrey and Kate Winslet as they're talking. Like I feel like
Hmm.
I've had dreams like that before, where just like wherever I'm at is just being destroyed around me while someone's talking to me, right? Like
Hmm.
it nails it, and again, they're not dream sequences per se; they're memories, but it's the closest thing we get to a dream sequence. That's why we just call it that. I would say.
I mean,
Like,
he is sleeping during this whole portion too.
it's
So,
true. Yeah, I mean, he is revisiting memories, but maybe they're
hmm.
coming as dreams. You just kind of take it with a grain of
Hmm.
salt. Like it's also meant to just kind of highlight these moments and the important connection that the two of them have. Uh, and Yeah, it's great. Alrighty, I mean, like as much as I want to keep talking about this movie, I also kind of want like I know there's people who are going to watch this who haven't seen the movie, and you should go and watch it. Honestly, like we've spoiled a pretty major part of it where with the time jumping, but you
Hmm.
should watch this movie. It is truly fantastic. And so, since it was my choice this week, Kevin, what did you think of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Will I be watching it sooner? Probably, just to see all those little details that you were talking about during the dream sequences. So I gave this movie 4 stars out of 5. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world, and I'm not gonna watch it straight after we get off the get off the video. But and I gave it an 87 out of 100. I felt like the pacing was very good and all the actors and actresses did a great job, but it's just a movie that I won't go back and see right away.
Sure. Yeah, it was interesting because I kind of like I got out of the movie and I was like, what do I think? And then I was like watching a couple people's takes and reading some letterbox stuff, and just
Hmm.
I was like, I was trying to see if maybe there was something I lost or something that I just didn't pick up on. And it just no, I felt like I kind of had a grasp on everything that I thought I did, and kind of confirmed my suspicions. So for me personally, I gave the movie a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, which is I give it a 99.
Hmm.
I didn't think this movie was going to be this good, and I'm not even that big a fan of romance movies, but I think
Hmm.
that like the chemistry that Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey have is incredible. You celebrate the pain as much as you do the victories, because you want to see these characters not go through the pain, but work through it to try and see the brighter, the greener pastures on the other side.
Hmm.
And so I thoroughly enjoyed this movie upon first watch. I thought that this was really good. I mean, I could watch this again and not like it as much. Anything can happen. Kevin
Hmm.
could go back and think it's 100 out of 100.
Yep.
Watching it the second time, but after the first viewing, first time watching it, and just kind of walking away, 99 out of 100 is what I'm going to get. It's on my list for the top 150, or my
Nice.
150 films that make me remind me why I love film.
Hmm.
It's that good to me. So the question now falls to you. What do you think of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? We'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comment section down below, but remember to be respectful of one another, because we don't want to have to wipe your memories and kind of, make you forget that you commented something
We'll have the
poorly.
whole come to your house and sleep and watch while you sleep.
Yeah, and I don't know what he does while you're sleeping. So next week we'll be covering the psychological drama Joker. So make sure to watch it before next week, before we cover it, so you aren't spoiled. Which I guess it's going to be kind of hard because everyone went and saw this movie. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and follow us everywhere online at Real Watchers, REEL Watchers, pretty much everywhere. And at the time you're watching this, we're back doing our weekly live stream every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you come out and join us. Think of a movie you want to either torture us or reward us with, because we do a wheel spin and we'll see which movie Kevin has to watch and which one I have to watch. So make sure you join us for that. And until next time, make sure to keep your eyes on the screen.